What up, everybody? Scuff D here, and it's time for another deck list video. Seems to be a lot of people appreciating and enjoying the deck list videos I've been doing lately, so I want to thank everybody who's been paying attention and checking the videos out, whether or not, you use them or not. Hopefully they inspire you and they give you some ideas, and we're talking about some warlords that you haven't seen played or highlighted. There's over 100, and we're going into 150 warlords in the game now, so there's so many to cover, but I appreciate all the comments and feedback, and if you guys got any requests. So if you've been enjoying the video and the decks that I've been doing and you haven't already, please consider subscribing, liking the video, let me know what's going on. If there's decks or warlords you'd like to see decks for, I'm interested in taking some requests and comments, and I appreciate everybody watching along, so let's get to it. Now that the card by cards are out of the way, I'm really trying to focus just on deck list videos and trying to get caught up on some things. Now, to that end, I normally don't do this, but I did a Yesugei video, Targutai Yesguei, Targutai Yesguei, when the White Scars first dropped. It was the first warlord I was going to go for a one-turn kill build with the Targutai Sacrifice and Warp Retreat, and use a bunch of the fast troops over and over again. That deck has since been deceased thanks to several balance patches, and then Kinza being a better choice for it. Then I like Yaghatai Khan, but the last deck video I did for Targutai Yesguei was back on White Scars release 2 years ago. So I normally don't do a video going back on warlords that I've already done, even though it's dated, but that was a specific build type, and I figured, you know what, this guy doesn't get enough love and shine, and he's actually not bad when you play him. The downside that a lot of people look at is his 30 health, and the 30 health is a downside. Like, don't get me wrong, like he's got a shorter timer, but his ability to energy draw a card if it's attacked to deal 1 to 3 damage to a random enemy is not bad. He's got high initiative like most White Scars, and he's able to go fast. Now, I'm not playing a mission build with him. I don't think he needs the mission build. I think with his ability, you're drawing cards. I don't think the mission is really his fuel, and the mission is much more of a longer game. The longer the game goes for him, the shorter life he has, and that really becomes a problem. That's just what you got to work around. So, I've had a lot of fun with him. I wanted to show off the current deck that I've got following the Galaxy and Flames cards that have been added, and just give you guys hopefully some insight and inspiration on trying Yesugei, because he's actually really fun. One thing that, as far as a character goes, he's a pretty good character, which I like. I think that's a pretty good starting hand to start out with. So, yeah, his ability, especially you got like aggressive warlords, you got the Karns and the Sevitars, Angrons. Angron is a little bit lower popularity nowadays, but I mean, the warlords that can hit for 3, Rom, Lucius, those are hard games because the turn timer is short, and you've got warlords that can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. So what you have to do is try to burn them faster. This isn't really a burn deck, but it kind of is. Between his ability and the tactics that are dealing damage, as well as a couple of troops that are either fast or work in a role to help clear the board out, like the Silverblade Speeder, it is much more of a deck that does as much damage as it possibly can. Either which way here, I'm getting rid of a 3 turn. I want to keep that Silverblade Speeder for a turn. I don't want to throw it away. So we're going to take some damage here. All right. I mean, this is the punishment. These are the tough games. These are the tough games. But what's interesting is that you can do a good White Scars deck with him without having to do the mission. That's really not necessary with him. His drawing is going to get you the cards that you need, and you play a lot of lower cost cards for the burn, for the combo, so that way you don't have to worry about playing Streak. You don't have to. I mean, Streak is nice. Streak is a nice bonus, but you don't have to time it that way. You don't have to work everything. Did I get a streak off this turn? Did I get 2 or 3? Like, if you don't, you don't. What you're looking to do is control the board so that when you use your ability, you're doing damage, or play troops so that you're doing damage. Try not to overdraw if you can help it. And this turn here, I'm going to have to. I know what the timer is, so 10 card hand, I'm just going to have to deal with it. I'm kind of glad I did, though. I've got a lot of low-cost stuff that I can just start dropping if I need to throw down some scouts. You don't have too many problems with regards to not having answers, because you've got a warlord that's drawing cards as well as dealing damage, and sometimes in the best circumstances, that means that you're, taking care of the problem twice. I'm going to throw down my second Kandali here just to make some additional targets for him to deal with, as it were. He can get rid of one, but can he get rid of two? And if he gets rid of two, then he spent all of his cards getting rid of that. That's fine. I don't mind. Like, this is a game where we're really behind. And as you'll see, like, it doesn't end that way. But it is a game that you got to use all the tools at your disposal. Because once he hits 9 energy, he can have the Raven. If he doesn't have 9 energy before that, he's got other things. I like being able to pull out some surprises with the precognition, or just damaging, and when you've got somebody who thinks that they've got the pocket, you buy yourself a turn, and then you've got a full hand of burning. I've actually got a second turn to do that with both quick reactions in my hand here. So even though he's got a frontline troop, which has got flank, which is going to be very big and nasty, I can answer that. This might take a couple cards, but I can answer it. That's what the crushing power is for. That's what the crushing power is for. And then we'll combo that. Give him some bait. If he's got us, he's got us. Like, if he's got the juice, he's got the juice. But he doesn't. Instead, he's going all in to get rid of that 8-6, which is fine. I can do crushing power again and stun that 10-4 by myself some more time. I've got damage in my hand. I've got 4 or 6, potentially 9 plus in my hand, not counting anything else that I draw with defensive satellites. So we can whittle him down. We can buy ourselves some time. The question is, how much time can we buy ourselves? I didn't want to use the 4 there, but at the same time, I felt like I couldn't do enough damage to really make a difference. So I went with, let's play the fast, let's hit hard. Like, we were at 6 life for 2 turns, and he was at 16 life. Now he's at 8. The game is closer. We've got all the damage that we need in our hands. Again. Oh, I forgot he played a second from the shadows. But yeah, 3 damage left. Like, single damage tactic would wrap it up. But that attack actually was his undoing. Was his mistake. We'll buy ourselves some time. And the draw. And then you got the burn. It's pretty... I mean, did I have all the answers in my hand? Did I have a lot of stuff in my hand? Yes. Did I have a lot of stuff that's drawing stuff? Yes. Guess what? That's kind of how it works. If you've played Horus, you understand how draw-burn works. Is it a burny deck? Mostly, but it's also a lot of, like, control and calculated burn. Like, the only random that's in there is Targutai's ability. Because we're drawing, we've got 8 troops. We have a high chance of drawing tactics, which is great. But not all of them are going to be tactics. I added a second Stormlance in here because I found that just having one wasn't good. And then I really wanted a lot of low-cost cards because I found you're going to fill his hand up. You're going to fill his hand up very fast, as you saw in that last game. So if you've got, at 6-7 energy, a 10-card hand, but most of them are 1, 2, 3 energy, you can drop 3 or 4 cards, still use your ability, and draw more. Is this ideal? I don't know, but it's been working for me. I've been having fun with it. Like I said, I've got the 2 crushing power in there. I find that actually works really well. It's a good card to assist with streak if you want to pig off a streak with like Swift Strike or with the Tang High Tac Bikes, but we're going streakless aside from Thunderhead. Thunderhead is a pocket 5 damage. With the Void Engagement, that's potentially 7 damage, or if I throw down a Kandali Scouts, that's 6 to 8 damage if I do both of them. surprise. Like, it's a surprising, plus it's an 8.6 vehicle, but the ordnance addition to the game has really kind of held me off from playing a lot of vehicles that I want to stick on the board, which you'll note, this deck is lacking the rhinos, the Golden Star rhinos, the front lines. I had those in there, and I took them out because I found that all I was doing was just healing for 3, giving my opponent something to get rid of, and just not doing damage. So I need to do damage. I need Cantali's to ping. I need Tempestuous to return my fast cards to my hand. Tempestuous to return, like, not necessarily Kumbai, but like a Tanghai or Silverblade Speeder. Now it's a 4-4 or it's a 3-4 with the streak again. I need the Informant Networks to break streak or stealth. Kumbais to deal with flanking. And then we've got Quick Reaction to buy yourself some time. This card is key, as is 1 Stormseer's Wisdom. I had 2 in my first draft. I dropped out 1 of the Stormseers for a 2nd Storm Lance. That's much more effective. Double Mortar Strikes, double Thunderhawks, again, to help clear board or take advantage of a clear board. It hits hard when it hits. Your turn counter is lower because of the 30 health, but that doesn't mean that you are at a disadvantage. Knights. Yes, so we've got a 40 health Warlord. We've got a Knight 40 health Warlord, which has additional weapons. We've got an older draft of the deck. This is when I had Targutai Sacrifice in the deck. I took this out. I took this out for, I believe... Oh, I can't recall the card I put in there. I think it was another... I think it was a 3-drop. I'm not sure. I didn't like this. I used it one time. I mean, this card used to be really good. This card is not good against many things for Targutai's or Yesugei's. I'll just call him Yesugei. Yesugei's low health. Like, if there's a board of 6 troops that can kill you, and you use Sacrifice, you're still going to take 12 damage. It's too much. It's too much, and then they just go into your opponent's deck for 0 cost that then they can play again. I want to use this card. I want to use this card in this deck, and I've used it a couple times, but never to the point where I liked it or I used it for what it used to be. This used to be a very good card for returning your cards to your deck as well as your opponent's, buying yourself a turn, especially for Yesugei who needs that turn. So instead, what we're really relying on is everything else in this hand. Double Stormseer is probably in this draft. We've got Kandali to clear the board. We've got some streak stuff to do some damage. We got to hit hard because he's building up plasma. There's one thing you know when you see a knight that's building up plasma and hasn't played a weapon, they're going for the aggressive. They're going for the Hecaton Claw. They're going for Orders from Terra, maybe with the Hecaton. They're going for, massive attack in your face. So right now we've evened the field, even health. That's what we've got. I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of stealth in Knights, so we can go ahead and throw that. We can go ahead and get the streak off, get some more damage down there, give him something else to chew on for a bit, whittle this health down. Once I get to a certain point and his plasma hasn't gone down, I'm going to kind of hold back on my Warlord attacking, because then his reach will be much higher, and I don't want that. I don't want a high reach. Again, we're not going to take 4 damage. We're just going to figure out a way to deal with these guys. We've got 2 Kandali scouts in hand, so even if one of these guys hits 2, they both do, sadly. I can go ahead and, like, if one of them was 2, I could ping and then ping and bounce, but because they're both there, I'll just use my ability. Draw up, get some stuff in hand. We've got a 5 damage here that can drop. Want to get rid of this so he's not healing. Tempted to use the Stormseer's Wisdom just yet, but I've got a larger hand, so we're going to hold off. His health is actually lower than mine. He's been playing all the plasma game, and that's to be expected. Again, that's to be expected. It's kind of a telegraphed play. Like, he knows I know what he's doing, and he should know that I know what he's doing. So the clock is ticking. For 3 energy, he's a +2 attack, +1 attack. plus 2 and then 1. So that's like 6 to 10 attack, right? That's 12. So, yeah. I've got precogs, so I can buy myself some time, but I need to get his health down low enough where that matters. And now I'm not going to worry about these. Like, he can jack up his plasma all he wants. I'll stun him. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just do damage. Let's go ahead and throw out that Thunderhead. Give him a big body to mess with. That's 5 more damage. Not attacking here because I'm pretty sure, like, between everything here he can use to boost and get lethal. But he goes in for the shot. He goes for the 8, which is great. Because that means he's spending plasma to do that. He spent, was it 8 plasma? Yeah, 6 plasma. And that's 9 plasma. So that actually brings down his clock quite a bit. Even though he's filling it back up here a little bit, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. Like, we've got him at 11 health. All I need is some damage stuff in my hands. Don't have it, so let's go ahead and streak it up. There we go. There's some stuff. And we got some health back. Let's go ahead and draw some cards. Let's do damage on the warlord. Let's do it to it. Let's just burn, baby, burn. And when you got the answers, like, you find the target, which is the warlord in this case, and you go as fast as you possibly can. Stun that so he can't get some extra plasma. Why not? I'm out of reach now. Even if he throws down the claw, like, it'll be gnarly, but, which he does. Yeah, 3 is plus 2 plus 0. So he can make it a 10 attack, right? You can use that ability 10 times, plus with plasma here. So probably 11 times. So that's, 22 attack on his warlord. That's a lot of juice. Guess what? It's not enough. 21 attack. 20 attack. I'm off by 1. I'm off by 1. Not enough, though. And that's a combination of playing hard and fast and also understanding who you're matching up against and playing, and knowing that that is what they can do with the Knights. Had I attacked like 2 or 3 turns more with my warlord, I would be low enough where that lethal could do something to me. So you just gotta play a little bit more carefully. So yeah, I mean, Psyker versus Psyker match, why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do Ahriman versus Yesugei. Yesugei sadly does not have the Psyker trait, but he is a librarian. And, I figure, alright, not getting this card to do damage, that hurts a little bit. I know he's got his special card. If I fill my hand up, maybe he won't get something good. Maybe he'll get something lame like Crushing Power and Kandali Scouts as an option. But I gotta put down damage. I gotta put down the damage. And with him giving precog to troops, I'm not going to be able to clear him with my flanking or my fast. But I can clear them with tactics. And I don't really want his Psyker energy getting too high, if I can help it. So the longer this game goes with the Thousand Suns, their endgame options really open up, especially with him being able to generate 2 Psyker energy a turn. So I do kind of want to have the game a little bit closer, a little bit faster. We'll go ahead and play with what we've got, do some damage, make him, make him sweat. Just a little bit. Hopefully he didn't get the Thunderhead. As it happens, I know that he did get the Thunderhead, so we can work that out here and be sad about it. I can play the Stormlance because he's got precog, and I can't flank into it. I can't fast into it. I don't have any tactics to do anything unless I throw that Mortar Strike. But I can stun it, which is fine, and then just punish his Warlord a little bit, which is what I'll do. And now with that, as 1 health, I can drop into Informant Network next turn and really not have to worry about it at all. Save this for like an Izzarkir or a Ahriman's Cabal, something that's a little bit more annoying on the long game. An 8/6, again, Ordnance really makes a difference. The White Scars, I don't know if they've got any Ordnance. I don't know if they've got any Ordnance in their deck, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. We'll take 3 to deal 5, so we still have an even game here. And he knows that I've got this Thunderhead in my hand that can still deal 5 damage to him in a pocket. Like, he knows that's a thing. He doesn't know what else I've got that I've drawn up after he played his special card. He doesn't know about my Stormlands. He doesn't know all the resources that he's spending into this guy here, the 7/7. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He doesn't know what I'm drawing with my ability, unless it's a tactic and it's dealing damage. That's all he knows. He knows what type of card it is. And he knows once he hits that 5, that Thunderhead can go off. So he's trying to do everything he can, maybe to keep it close, draw some Psyker, play some troops out there. Burn is going to burn, though. Burn is going to burn. We've got right here, we've got satellites, we've got informant network, we've got Kandali scouts. This 4/4, that's nothing. And if we high roll, guess what? We can still throw up the Swift Strike, which we do. Love the high rolls. Gotta love them. Burn is a little boring, I mean, to talk about. It's not like it's a crazy thing, but when you have a low timer, when you have 30 health, you've got to take advantage of that. In this game, I have drawn up like 2 or 3 cards that didn't actually do anything for me. We've got the precognition, like when I say do anything, I mean like with his ability, right? Like we have limited troops. We only got 8 troops in the deck, and yet we're still drawing them with our ability and not doing damage. That's fine. Let's just hit him face while we can. We've got all the damage in hand. We've got 3, we've got 4, 5. He's at 6. We've actually got 6 with the Kandali scouts. He is very aware of the situation. And these come out a little too late. Even with a board wipe, it doesn't matter. Like the precog could have hurt. Like he could have followed up with an 8 and done some damage here. But yeah, 6 damage pocket. Like Thunderhead, if you don't like it, you can take it out. Once the game is over, we'll go ahead and take a look at some options that you could include instead of a couple of these cards, just depending on how you want to play. But I like it. I like it as because of all the low-cost cards, just as a potential finisher and or distraction. That's really why I like it. But if you don't like it, or if there's other cards that you really want to consider playing, the most important thing that you need to think about is speed and burn. I do not have Outriders in my deck. You'll find that I don't have Outriders in my deck. Why? Because I'm going more tactic heavy. I'm going burn. It's a little different from White Scars, because typically White Scars, yeah, you want those Outriders in there. You want to get a lot of troops. But that's not where the damage that I'm throwing out is coming from. Frontline wall will really stall Yesugei. Jaghatai bikes are not bad. They're not a bad option in place of maybe an informant network, maybe one of the tempestuous orders. Like, you could probably put in, if you wanted to go less tactics, if you wanted to go like an even split, 15-15, take out some burn tactics, put in 2 Outriders, put in 2 Jaghatai bikes. But then it begins to look too much like another White Scars deck, which is why I kind of went the way I went. I like to go against the grain. You could also throw in the Golden Stars for the healing, for the health. It's not a bad card. I just found that for my speed, again, rather than heal 3, why don't I do 4 or do 5 or do 3 clear troop shuffle draw? Like, rather than heal 3 and just buy myself a little bit of time, I don't have a whole lot of health anyways at 30 health. I want to hit harder. I've got to find ways to hit harder. I've got to be doing damage. I've got to be comboing. So that's why I don't use the Golden Star Rhino in this deck. But that doesn't mean that it's not a bad deck, or not a bad card that you want to consider. You could throw in a Jaghatai Khan there, or a Golden Keshig in as a pinch in place of the Thunderhead. Because this is dealing, for 5. It's a 2-card combo that deals 5. Jaghatai Khan for 2 energy less deals 3 damage on the rally, and is a 5/6 body that your opponent has to deal with. That's not a bad exchange. The difference is that's a legendary, right? You could also throw in... I wouldn't put Command Bridge in it. There's too many tactics in the deck. Command Bridge is just kind of a watered-down choice. You could throw in a Seek and Destroy if you want. You could throw in a Silent Death in place of a Crushing Power, or in place of, if you don't have a quick reaction, like just to buy yourself a time against a large board. That's not a bad thing. The problem is if you've used your ability and done some pings across the board and they're damaged troops, they're not going to work for you as effectively. You could also throw in a Artillery Strike. Maybe I don't like doing too many high cost tactics to deal damage because I want to be able to rapid fire, do a lot of rapid fire damage dealing tactics. But possibly like as an end game, if you don't like Stormseer's Wisdom, maybe give yourself an Orbital Bombardment. 10 energy for 10 across the board. Just as effective, especially if you've been whittling your opponent's board down and they don't have too many troops. That's 10 damage. Or even if they've got a troop and their warlord, that's still 10 damage split between the two of them. So that's not a bad way to go about it. You could also go with like one more card I would recommend. Maybe I want to say like Manifest Destiny, but it's not a bad card to buy yourself a little bit of time. Or Arvus Lighter, which is always a good card. Draw, refill, or heal 2. Goes great in getting through your deck. Healing, buying yourself some time, or triggering Streak when you need it to trigger. That's a really good card to consider. Maybe in place of Tempestuous, or in place of an Informant Network. Like, if you're going less burn and more troops, then you want to stick with the vehicles that are fast, and then that's when you mix in Outrider, that's when you mix in Vendali Bikes and Golden Star. But keep in mind that your turn timer is lower at 30 health. It really is. So play aggressively as much as you possibly can. I hope that has inspired you. I hope you are intrigued by the deck. If you haven't tried out Yesugei, give it a try. He's actually easier to play than you think. Once people get past the hurdle and get past the fact that White Scars are all streak emission, it's not really the case. Definitely a burn deck. I can't disagree with that. It is a burn deck, but it doesn't have to be if you want to go the old-fashioned route. Old-fashioned, I mean jet bikes. You certainly can. And that's it for me, guys. Until next time, keep playing Legions, and we'll talk to you later.